When and how to set your health goals. Today we're going to talk about the importance of setting your goals, when to set them, and how to set them. Hey, this is Dr. Kirk Price, the world's best health coach, helping you learn how to really set your goals and when to set them. So in this episode, we're going to talk about this. In the next broadcast, I'm going to tell you my actual goals and why I set them like I did and how it affects different parts of my health. All right, so, we're going to be living a lot longer if you want to. We've reached the peak of our longevity as a nation right now, and it's starting to go downhill. But we now know things that if you are proactive, you can do things to live to 100, 120 years of age easily and have a great health span. Remember, your health span is how long you live healthy. Lifespan is just how long you live. In a typical lifespan, once you get past 35 or 40, your health starts to go downhill and gets worse and worse and worse until you die. And I don't want that bell-shaped curve in my life, and I don't think I'm going to have that. And if you really have a great health span, you won't. In fact, if you have a great health span, you want not a bell-shaped curve, you want a square. You want to have great health in 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, whenever. Then all of a sudden, you're done. That's what a great health span is. It's about how long you live healthy. And it all starts with setting your physical health goals and your mental health goals. We're going to go over setting your physical health goals today. And hopefully, with this in the next episode, when I go over mine, by then you'll be ready to set your own goals. Because we're at the end of the year, and now's the time to set them. And if you have goals already set like I did previously, I review the goals and see if there's anything I want to change in them. You've got to modify them throughout your life because things happen, your goals change. So, I want to help you set goals for the end of next year, which is 2020, for when you turn 50, when you turn 80, when you turn 100, and when you turn, 120 years of age. Yeah, you should have goals set that long. If you want to live that long, you want to set these goals, you want to write them in a certain way, and I'll go over that in the next episode. And you also want to say them daily to really program in your mind what's going to happen. When I first started saying my 100 and 120 year goals, I kind of chuckled inside. I was like, what? That's kind of weird. Because you're programmed that you're going to live to about 70, 80 and die, if you're lucky. But now we can live a lot longer if you do the things that you got to do to be proactive to do them. And you have a great health span. So you've got to start getting that mindset. Now when I say my goals, I've gone over so many times, I don't really chuckle anymore. I'm like, yeah, this is going to happen. And if subconsciously you believe that that's what's going to happen, your body's got a lot better chance of getting to that spot like you want to. But that's the first step. You've got to believe it. Like I said, like it says in that quote, you got to believe it before you can achieve it. And it's definitely true with your goals. So Mark Victor Hansen has a great quote about goals. He says, by recording your dreams and goals on paper, you set in motion the process of put your future in good hands, your own. You've got to put your goals and dreams on paper. That sets in motion for everything else. And your future is in your hands. And if you take care of your future and you're putting your goals and dreams on paper, your future's in good hands because you're taking care of yourself. So I love this quote. Put your dreams and goals on paper. Because what you'll do is you'll put the future in good hands, your own. Because you're the one that's responsible. You're the one that's responsible for your health and for your long-term health span. It's only you. It's not your doctor. It's not your guy on TV. It's not me. It's not your mom. It's not your dad. It's you. You only have the responsibility to do that. So let's go over when to set health goals. I want to set them at the end of, like we talked about, the end of 2020, when you turn 50, 80, 100, 120 years of age. So unfortunately, I'm past 50 now. I'm almost 60. So I'm not going to set my 50 goals, but if I live to 120 years of age, I'm not even halfway there. Isn't that crazy? With the knowledge and the health that I have now, that I've built up over 30 plus years working with people to help them be healthier and working with tens of thousands of patients, with another 30 or 40 years of helping people and the knowledge I have now and the knowledge I'm going to gain, man, I can do some amazing things. It's almost like starting my career. If I could go 40 more years, that's a typical career of a normal person, 25 to 65. But if I can go 58 to 98 years of age and have another 40 years career, how many more people can I help? How many more people can I impact? Who can you help? Who can you teach? Who can you give to? Who can you impact with an extra 20, 30 years? So that's what this is all about. Being able to do more of what you're here on earth to do. All right, so let's go over my 5 criteria I use to set my goals. And these are real important, and I put a lot of thought into them. I didn't just come up with them by looking on the internet for something. You know, I thought about myself. What do I really need? What are the best qualities that's really necessary that I need to be able to do my physical goals? Whether it's travel and see the world when you're 100 years of age, have quality time with your family where you can get down on the floor and play with your grandkids. You can go to events. You can hold your grandbabies, your great-great-grandbabies, and maybe great-great-great-grandbabies. So you can keep your independence and dignity as you age by taking care of yourself and doing things what you need to do and getting yourself to where you need to go. You've got to have these 5 criteria. And I don't think they're all inclusive, but I think if you have these 5 criteria covered, I feel like I'm in pretty good shape with my physical abilities. So these 5 things are balance, strength, endurance, flexibility, and speed. And then they're not in any particular order, but I think all 5 of them are important and they all affect each other. Because if you don't have your balance, what good's your speed, or how you're going to do really speed or strength? If you don't have your strength, you can't have speed. And you need a certain amount of strength for balance. So they all tie into each other. But I think they're all 5 important, and you need to set your goals at each interval in life to monitor these 5 things. At the end of next year, are you monitoring your balance? How are you monitoring your strength, your endurance, your flexibility, your speed? So set goals that can monitor these. In the next broadcast, like I talked about, I will go over these and how I set them and why they're so important to me. So balance, let's talk about balance. I use different goals for balance. I think one of the best ones for myself is yoga. If you can do all the major balance poses in yoga, you've got some great balance. You guys also have some other things that come into play as well, like strength and flexibility. But really, that's a great goal I have to monitor my balance. Another one, you might have a simple one, stand on one leg for 30 seconds or for 2 minutes, whatever it is. That might be your goal. Or maybe be able to just stand with 2 feet on the ground, feet right next to each other, be able to stand real steady, look in the mirror, and not wobble at all. Maybe that's a good goal for you. So balance is a great goal. The next one I want to go over after balance is strength. There's a whole bunch of different goals for strength that you can monitor with weightlifting. I want to be able to bench press X amount of pounds for 5 reps, or how many reps you want to do it. You can do things like push-ups. Another strength one is like sprinting, swimming, jet skiing, jumping. These are all great strength exercises that you can monitor. And you can put a firm number at to see exactly where you are now and where you're at in 20 years from now or 30 years from now. And see how close you are to staying on progress. Because you want to be able to monitor it down to a number. If you can say, I can bench press 200 pounds when I'm 100 years of age, and I can only bench press 190 now, you got a lot of work to do. But if you are at 220 now, then you know you can only lose 20 pounds until you're 100 years of age. So it gives you a great measuring device to see exactly where you're at, where you're going, and are you on the process of getting there or are you missing it? Because you want to be able to hit those goals, you got to be on that line to hit that. So balance, strength, endurance. A lot of things for endurance. Aerobics, running, jumping. You can do weightlifting for endurance. You can do a bench press with the bar only and do 100 reps in 60 seconds. That's a pretty good endurance one. I love sprinting. Sprinting is a great, I'm sorry, that's a different one. For endurance, let's go back to endurance. Climbing, I like climbing for endurance. Yoga's another good one for endurance. Jet skiing, I love stand-up jet skiing. And if you go 20 minutes full throttle on a stand-up jet ski, that's a lot of physical endurance, and it covers you from head to toe. Swimming, that's a great endurance one. If you can do 100 meters or 500 meters of this breaststroke, of this stroke in a certain amount of time, that's a great endurance one. So anything that monitors endurance is going to be good. So think about what's going to be good for you. These are things I use, and you can use them as well. But you might have a specific one that's going to be better for you that I don't have on my list. And maybe let me know because I might want to use it on my list. Flexibility is the next one. Flexibility. Man, yoga pops up with so many things. I love yoga because it helps keep you flexible. Maybe you just want to be able to bend over and touch your toes, and that's your goal. But flexibility, I think yoga is great for that. Certain type of swimming, if you're doing a backstroke or the breaststroke or butterfly, that involves a lot of arm flexibility. Maybe it's stand-up jet skiing, maybe it's mountain climbing, skydiving, maybe it's whatever it is. What are your flexibility goals? And last, but like I said, not least, is speed. What are your speed goals? I love sprinting. I love swimming because they're great and easy to measure exactly where you're at. And also, with both of those, you can look at records, world records for people around the world for a 50-meter dash when you're 80, when you're 100, when you're 120. Their records are there. You can look at on the internet. Same with swimming. So you can monitor how you are to the world's best. Are you at the elite? Or maybe you're the best in the world. Maybe you want to be the best in the world when you're 120. So these are great things. I just love sprinting and swimming to measure your speed. Biking can be another one. There's all different things that you can use. I love sprinting and swimming for myself. So those are the 5 things. Remember, no particular order, balance, strength, endurance, flexibility, and speed. I like to use all of them. And I think it's important to have, at each goal setting period that we're shooting for, to have certain goals that are going to measure all 5. Now, some of them are going to go for 3 or 4 different categories, but at least have something for each category. And remember, it's not as important as where you're starting. Maybe you can't touch your toes now, but if you work at it and you're 55 now or 45, by the time you're 60 or 80, you might be able to touch your palms on the ground. So it's not as important as from where you start, it's where you finish. Not what you've been given in life, but what you do with what you have. And that's in part about improving yourself every single day, mentally and physically both. So remember with your goals, once you set them, be flexible with them. Go back and revisit them. I'm revisiting my goals I set last year. I don't have to set all new goals. I'm going to look at them and I might alter one or two or add one or two goals, but you don't have to start from scratch unless you've never done it before. But remember, these are the most important goals you guys set, so set them first. Les Brown said, if you set goals and go after them with all the determination you can muster, your gifts will take you to places that will amaze you. Yeah, if you set these goals and you go after them with all the determination you can muster, you can reach goals that you would have thought impossible 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. So set your goals, go after them with all you can muster, and do some amazing things. And let me know what your amazing things you're doing with your goals are. Remember, you have to have goals. This is the world's best health coach. Go set your goals right now.